Alright guys, here's the video review for the KFC Keith's Fantasy Club CST03 and CST04 B-Box and Birdbomber, also known as Beastbox and Squawktalk if you're into the G1 nomenclature. So yeah, little cassettes, guys. There's a little bios on the back of each box, all the same picture of the combined form there, the BOXBOMBER. And inside you open them up, there's a little plastic tray with instructions, the weapons, and a little cassette holder. It's exactly the same over here with Birdbomber, so we'll just skip that. And here you go. Once out of the box, they're vaguely cassette-shaped robots. I think Beastbox pulls off the cassette a little better than, or B-Box more than Birdbomber, just partly because he does have the painted tape, window there versus just the molded one here on Birdbomber. But like I said, they are roughly G1 cassette sized. They do fit in these little cassette containers that come with them. Put them in right here like this. Close that up. So you can carry them around, and they come with their own little purple cassette cases. And as an added bonus, they do fit in both your G1. Put them in like this. And Masterpiece Soundwave toys, if you so choose. Ta-da! So yeah, if you want to do that, you can. On to the toys themselves. They come with their signature weapons, which are nice. They feel nice and solid. They're not. They don't feel quite like buy it off the shelf retail plastic, but they're really good. I'm really happy with the figures themselves. And transform Birdbomber, you just flip his feet down, flip the wings out, flip the tail out, which is on a ball joint. A little bit of paint rub there, but it's kind of to be expected considering the ball joint's kind of wedged in there. You do kind of have to get your fingernail under the beak, or use a small tool to get his head out. But once you do, it flips out very easily, also on a ball joint. And then you flip out the fins here, which are also like kind of on a hinge, but this part of the hinge is also a ball joint. Kind of a weird usage for it, but hey, whatever works. I guess it lets it move out a little bit. And then you've got Birdbomber in bird mode, and then you just attach. And this is where you don't have to be careful, but you got to pay attention to what you're doing, because you can see there's little spines around the post here that fit in the grooves in the cassette wheel there in that. So you want to line those up, and you get in there and you think it won't stay. You do kind of have to use some force to push those in. But as long as you just use some gentle but consistent force on there, they slide right in and they stay on very securely. So yeah, it's just a matter of getting that lined up, kind of like a puzzle piece, and then just pushing it in. And I think the first time is the scariest, because sometimes there might be a little bit of a, mold warp or whatever, like just very slight amounts on those spines. But once you get them in there, leave them in there for about 5-10 minutes, and they'll automatically kind of conform to the slots in the main body, and it's not nearly an issue after that first time. The first time I did it, I was very, very frightened I was going to ruin something, but I just stuck with it, and it worked just fine, and have had no problems since. So there's Birdbomber. And at Beastbox, you just flip his little feetsies out here, flip his head up and around here. Just like that. Bring his arms down, flip his fists out, and there you've pretty much got his monkey mode. He's got little molded abs. He's like the Shaun T of Transformer cassettes. And then you plug the weapons into his back. He's pretty much G1 old school Beastbox for the most part. At least here. And there you have them all in their little animal modes. Very cute. But of course, we know there's more to these guys than might meet the eye here. Okay, that was cheesy, I'm sorry. So we'll pop the weapons off of both of them here. You flip them over, you can see now, but just because of the transformation, the combined mode face is already for Squawkbox, or BOXBOMBER as he's called now, is already exposed. Poor choice of words. But you take the arms and you can actually slide them up here. There's little grooves that let them slide up, so they sit more naturally as shoulders. Then the forearms, you can see right here, there's a little clip. Slide out to right there, so you can extend the arms as well, and then they still work as an elbow joint the way they're designed, which is really nice. And now you've got much better arms, much more posable arms for Squawktalk, or for Squawkbox, BOXBOMBER, or whatever you want to call it. Flip his monkey head around, and then this whole assembly rotates back to the back here. So it's not just plugging into the bottom. And you're done with him. Take him, Birdbomber, flip his head up, flip his tail in, flip the feet onto the back where they should be. Bring these down, rotate them here at the waist, at the hips, I guess. Flip the feet up, rotate them forward. I've seen people flip this out and then use this as the foot. You can do that as well if you're having stability issues. I haven't had any issues having him stand up here, but he's got ball joints on the hips and ball joint knees, which is nice. And again, you can rotate the knees around as well, so you can bend at the knee, which is nice. So surprisingly posable for a little cassette combiner. Way more posable than the old G1 one. All right, and then you've got that bottom half, and then you just take that and just slide it right into here. There is a little tab back here that plugs into the tab right here. You want to make sure that happens. And then the tips of the feet, if you line them up right, kind of fold up into some grooves there in the back of the monkey head. You can kind of see that fitting up in there. And there you have the BOXBOMBER. And then you combine the weapons, one on each side. Plug the bird weapon onto the gorilla weapon. And then this piece right here slits right over the arm. And now he's got his arm cannon on that side. And the same over here. And there you go. So you've got the ball joint shoulders, which is nice. A bicep swivel. Elbows. The wrist is on a ball joint as well, so you can get some wrist swivel as well if he's holding his weapons in his hand. And he can hold these individually by the pegs. Ball joint hips. Ball joint knees. I don't know why you'd need a swivel here. That's mostly for transformation, but it's nice that they have it. And again, like I said, you can use these as feet and ankles if you choose to. But he does stand just fine on his own once you get him stood up properly. And on top of all that, which is already pretty cool, they designed it so that his head does in fact turn from side to side. Like it's on a rotating swivel there. That's even cooler. So he's got all kinds of articulation for a 2-cassette combiner, which back in the day were not known for their posability. So yeah, there it is, the Keith's Fantasy Club, B-Box, and Birdbomber. I definitely recommend these guys. It's very, very cool. I think it's like $35 for the set of 2 of them, which is it's not cheap, but it's not horrible, and you're getting a very decent figure for the price, I think. Squawktalk and Beastbox were 2 of the cassettes that I specifically remember having as a child and loved them because of the way they combined to form a little robot. And just as cool here. I'm very, very happy with these. So there you go. There is the KFC, B-Box, and Birdbomber set.